How's it going, everyone? We're back with another weekly watch list. So first things first, thank you so much for clicking on the video, checking out the channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Please consider dropping a comment, a like, subscribing. It means the absolute world to me. You know, I'm just a guy who just loves investing, loves the stock market, really anything financial related, and obviously day trading. So as always, we're going to be covering SPY, QQQ, ES, NQ, and then for individuals, Apple, Tesla, AMD, and NVIDIA. So without further ado, let's head right into the first individual with NVIDIA. With the individuals, I keep it super simple. Previous day high, previous day low, and then any major and obvious supply and demand zones on higher time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, and then sometimes 45 and 30 minute, really. But on these individuals, I'm really liking those daily and weekly and 4 hour supply and demand zones, because I will also look for swing trades at those zones as well. So right off the bat, we have a daily supply on Tesla, NVIDIA here, right? We have this amazing looking daily supply up here at 180.21. So I'll be looking for a reaction at that zone for a rejection, and that's going to be over the previous day high. So I'll be favoring calls over the previous day high, puts under the previous day low. We got a pretty big range here on NVIDIA, so I would look to trade inside the range as well, okay? Under the previous day low, my next support is going to be down at 168.77 and 167.93, right? So that's what I'll be watching on NVIDIA this week. I'll be watching break and retest, previous day low, previous day high. I have this kind of, potential level here as well. I'm not looking for necessarily any trades at this level. It was a previous day high. We bounced off it again, so I'm keeping it on the chart. Sure, we could look through here if there's any demand based off this really large move up as well. Like this right here already looks like a good 4 hour demand zone. I do have that marked here as well at 173.39. So I'll watch the wick and body of the zone here for reaction. Let's go back to the 15 minute and we'll head over to our next individual at AMD. It's been so good for me recently, been love trading it. Previous day high, previous day low. I'll look for a move over the previous day high up to 173.09 and to fill this daily gap at 174.32 with just some pivots along the way in case I am in longs here. These could be potential profit targets. And then our previous day low, I'll look for break and retest under the previous day low down to my next support at 158.2 to 157.75. So very, very simple. Just looking at that daily gap though, that's what I'm going to be looking for price to come up and fill. We had a nice move on Friday at that strength. We had a really nice move last week where we bounced here, a nice strong daily candle here. We had another one here. I'd like to see price come up and fill this daily gap this week and get some longs on the way up there. Over the previous day high from 168 to that 174 daily gap would be absolutely money if we get it. Going over and looking at Tesla, same thing, previous day high, previous day low. Obviously a massive range here. Really looking at this daily flag here that we've got going on. We have now daily demand as well, so I'll be watching for reaction at 324.92 down to the open at 322.32. Actually, that is actually not the right. It's a little bit below that 108, and then actually let me double check the wick. The wick is at 324.9. I believe it's what I have, yeah. So we're good to go there. But man, as you can see, Tesla looks primed for a good move. If we break this flag, I have a previous day high at 349.65. 358.24, 367.25, and then the 61 fib up here as well from the highs to the lows. So again, very strong candle. We came down, bounced the bottom of the flag and trend line again. I mean, personally, for me, it seems very likely we'll break this flag, so we'll see. So I'll be looking for a move over the previous day high. Look for that area to hold, break the flag, and Tesla, with the way it likes to rip, especially how strong it was Friday, we'll see if we can get up to that 384 target. And then lastly, for the individuals, we have Apple. Apple's been honestly a chop fest recently. I haven't really paid too much attention for it, but I just continue to mark out previous day high, previous day low. So I'll be watching longs over the previous day high up to 230.58, 232.75, 233.17, and really up to this weekly supply. 4 hour. 4 hour supply that we rejected out of, right? Really nicely, and honestly, it's just been making its move down. So if we come up and retest that supply, I can look for shorts again. I'm not interested in longs again though in this supply until we get over 238.58. All right. Under the previous day low, next support is down here at 233.73 and then 219.2. So you can see it's very simple levels. Very simple levels. I'm using my EMA system as well to line up with the levels. Look for confirming price action and volume at the levels with EMAs aligned. I use the 13, the 48, and the 200 and VWAP. It's very, very simple. Now we can get over to SPY QQQ and so on. So SPY at all-time highs, I'll be looking for longs over this 646 level. Support we have down here at the previous day low, which is also a daily demand as well. So now we have daily demand, small red candle followed by a large aggressive green. I have the wick in the body marked of that as well. So I'll be looking for that. We also have a 4-hour demand that's very, very nice. I'll be watching the wick and body of that as well. So if we do end up breaking underneath the previous day low and that daily demand, the open of it, my next support is down here at 633.84, 632.91. All right. It's going to be the same on ES. I believe it's the same 4-hour demand. I'm not quite sure if it's daily. I'll check in a second as soon as it loads here. It is. So we have a really big zone. So again, I'm not watching the whole zone for demand. I'm simply just watching the wick and the body that goes for all demand and supply zones. So we have a daily demand up here at 64.19 and 64.14, and then the 4-hour just below that as well from 64.01 up to 64.06. So those are the levels I'll be watching for a bounce or break and retest long over the all-time high. Okay. As far as this potential pivot we had, it was just a previous day high here. Flip the support, so I'll keep that on the chart. We'll go over to QQQ. QQQ not at all-time highs, and we do have daily supply. So I'm going to see how price reacts to this daily supply zone at this wick and the previous day high up here as well at 576.57. So that'll be my first area for rejects. Underneath the previous day high, I'll look for price to move back down to this, again, daily and 4-hour supply. Demand at this previous day low from 563.18, and that goes all the way up to 566.48. Underneath the previous day low, my next support is at 569 and 558.84. It's going to be the same look at NQ, but we'll pop that up on the screen as well. We have that daily demand. We have the 4-hour demand, so I'll be watching that. That whole zone goes from 23.203 all the way up to 23.370. So again, huge zone, not watching the whole zone, just watching the levels, the daily wick, the daily open, then the 4-hour open, the 4-hour wick, and so on, right? And I believe, is there another zone? Oh, we also have a 2-hour demand in there as well. So I'll be watching the open and wick of that as well. As far as rejects go, I don't have any supply or anything like that on NQ. We just have 24,000 in the all-time high. And then lastly, to wrap things up, just SPX. Again, I'm just marking previous day high, previous day low. Real simple, like if we get over the previous day high, I'll be looking at longs up to 6,500. That'll be our next whole psych number. And yeah, outside of that, I'll be looking at 6,400. That's the only other area of interest I have, just above the previous day low. So that's going to wrap it up. That's going to be the watch list for the week. Again, if you enjoyed, if you gained any value from the video whatsoever, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribing, sharing the video. It would mean the absolute world to me. Nonetheless, I'm wishing, praying that you all have a blessed week inside and outside the market, and I will see you all in the next watch list. Peace.